There's no scarier place for an unsolved mystery than in the wilderness. They're vast, ancient, and full of life, with creatures and stories lurking in every corner. Today we're diving into 5 of the strangest ones out there. Here are 5 dark forest mysteries. Number 5. 2 men disappeared. A man moves to a new town and opens a shop in the exact spot where the previous owner had mysteriously disappeared. He starts writing a novel about the disappearance, only to vanish himself. Is it just a bizarre coincidence, or is there something much darker going on? In the summer of 1988, Keith Reinhardt, a 49-year-old journalist and sports writer from Chicago, was chasing a lifelong dream of becoming a novelist. With time slipping away, he and his wife decided to leave the city behind and move to Silver Plume, Colorado, a small town in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Reinhardt rented a small shop intending to sell antiques and souvenirs while writing his novel. It just so happened that the shop's previous tenant, Tom Young, had disappeared under mysterious circumstances a year earlier. Tom had owned the shop as a bookstore. When Reinhardt found out, he became intrigued, almost obsessed. It was the perfect inspiration for his novel. 10 months after Tom's disappearance, in July of 1988, hunters found Tom's body in the woods of Silver Plume, along with his dog. Both had been shot, and a gun was found nearby. 1 week later, Keith told friends he was going hiking on Pendleton Mountain. He was last seen leaving town in the afternoon, with only a small amount of water. He never returned. Despite an intense search involving aerial surveys and volunteers combing the rugged terrain, no trace of Keith was ever found. No items, no footprints, nothing. 2 questions remained. What happened to Keith Reinhardt? And was his disappearance somehow connected to Tom Young's death? Some believe Keith discovered something he shouldn't have, something linking Tom's death to a darker truth. His body has never been found, and the mystery remains one of Colorado's most perplexing cases. Number 4. Michael Dune. On March the 24th, 1991, a simple family outing in Victoria, British Columbia, turned into chaos and tragedy. 4-year-old Michael Dune was playing at a park near his mother, Crystal, who was involved in a women's flag football game. As the game went on, Michael asked his mother if he could play in the nearby playground. She agreed, telling him not to move until his father, Bruce, came to get him. Minutes later, Bruce went to check on his son, but Michael was gone. Panic set in. The playground was searched thoroughly, but Michael was nowhere to be found. Soon the police arrived, and what started as a routine outing turned into one of Canada's largest search efforts. Hundreds of volunteers joined the search, combing the parks, forests, and neighborhoods. But Michael had vanished. His blue jacket, Ninja Turtle t-shirt, and sneakers left no clues behind. A reward of $100,000 was offered, but no one ever came forward. Rumors swirled about a man seen sitting in a brown van nearby, but that lead went cold. In 2006, a witness claimed to have seen a young man resembling Michael in Vancouver, but DNA tests proved otherwise. In 2020, a TikToker posted a video of a vintage Ninja Turtle shirt found in a river, sparking renewed interest. However, police ruled it out as a lead. Today, Michael's case remains unsolved, yet still open. Number 3. The Ghost of Epping Forest. Epping Forest, a sprawling ancient woodland in Essex, England, is a place where time seems to stand still. Its trees, some over 1,000 years old, have borne witness to countless events, but something else lingers in the air. Epping Forest is considered one of the most haunted places in the country. To understand why, you have to explore its violent past. In the 18th century, the forest was home to notorious criminals, including the infamous highwayman Dick Turpin, who used the woods as a hideout. Turpin's gang robbed and murdered travelers before he was eventually hanged. His ghost is said to haunt the forest, forever on the lookout for his next victim. But Turpin isn't the only restless soul. Shadowy figures have been spotted moving through the trees, disembodied voices heard, and visitors often report an overwhelming sense of dread. A ghostly woman in white, rumored to be a bride who lost her groom to a highwayman's bullet, wanders near a pond, searching for her lost love. The most chilling legend is the hanging tree, an ancient oak where criminals were executed. Visitors claim to see ghostly bodies swinging from its branches, their faces twisted in agony. In 2017, a group of paranormal investigators spent the night in Epping Forest. As they were about to leave, they saw a figure dressed in old-fashioned clothing standing beneath the hanging tree. As they approached, the figure vanished. Whether these encounters are spirits or an ancient energy trapped in the forest is unknown, but Epping Forest remains a place where the past refuses to stay buried. Number 2. The Strange Case of Todd Sees. On a warm summer morning in Northumberland County, Pennsylvania, Todd Sees, a 39-year-old father of 2, went out to scout for deer in the woods near his home. He promised his wife he'd be back by noon, but as the day wore on and he didn't return, concern grew. Todd's son found his ATV abandoned on a ridge 2 miles from their home, but there were no signs of him. A massive search effort ensued, but no scent, no tracks, nothing. The next evening, Todd's body was found just 150 yards from his home, in an area that had already been searched multiple times. He was only in his underwear, his body looking emaciated, with no signs of struggle or injury. The cause of death was listed as undetermined, but rumors began to swirl when locals reported seeing strange lights in the sky that day, and some even claimed to have witnessed a beam of light pulling something into the air. Though these claims were dismissed, the disappearance of official reports and witness statements fueled conspiracy theories of a government cover-up. The case of Todd C's remains shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Number 1. A haunting final image. In July 1991, a Boy Scout troop was hiking to the summit of Southern California's San Gorgonio Mountain. 12-year-old Jared Negrete, excited for his first overnight trip, was part of the group. As they climbed higher, Jared, slightly overweight, began to lag behind. The group continued on, unaware of how far he had fallen behind. By the time they realized Jared was missing, it was too late. A massive search was launched, involving over 3,000 people, but all they found were some of Jared's belongings: a shoe, candy wrappers, and his camera. The film was developed, revealing a series of photos Jared had taken, including one haunting final image, a close-up of his own wide-eyed face taken in the middle of the night. It appeared that Jared had fallen down a steep embankment, but his body was never found. To this day, Jared's disappearance remains one of California's most chilling unsolved mysteries, leaving his family still hoping for answers, and the haunting final image as the only clue.